Hello and welcome, I'm the Coastering Kid. I'm currently studying abroad in Hong Kong for a semester, which gives me the first chance in my life that I can go and visit some international parks. So I did that recently. I crossed into the border to Shenzhen in the mainland of China to visit the first ever Happy Valley Park. It was sort of a wild experience for me, just going alone, visiting a park like that. And so I want to share my thoughts about what the park is like and their attractions. And Happy Valley, if you're not aware, is that Six Flags Cedar Fair Lake chain in China. They have 8 parks, but there's a considerable amount of high quality theming present compared to those parks. And the rides are mostly amusement rides, so it is in that situation of amusement park, theme park, don't know what to call it really. Knott's Berry Farm is sort of similar in that regard. If you want that similar feeling, I'd say Knott's Berry Farm is most similar in the States. In China, there's lots of knockoff, low quality rides, but the attractions here, it's sort of the same you'd see back in the States. So honestly, it was a very high quality park in attractions and theming. And logistically, it was a very easy park to visit. It's only 230 yuan gate price, and that's about 33 US dollars, pretty affordable. And it was only a 5-minute walk from the nearest MTR rapid transit station. Alright, to the coasters. I'm the Coastering Kid. And I visited, there were 3 coasters open, only 3. The Kitty Coaster, a Vekoma SOC, and the S&S Bullet Coaster. And the S&S Bullet Coaster is probably the main reason to make a trip out as a coaster enthusiast. And oh boy, it was pretty worth it. This coaster is just phenomenal. I haven't been on Maxx Force, which is the same type of coaster to the Bullet Coaster, and this thing is taller though, faster, and most importantly longer by a good 15 to 20 seconds compared to Maxx Force. And the launch just feels so powerful, and it is amazing in the front seat. RCDB, the roller coaster database, doesn't list the acceleration time, but it's gotta be insane because before you know it, you're flying over this giant top hat, and then you go down to a 221-foot drop underwater. The entire ride is very forceful, more so on the side of positive G's than negative G's, I'd say. I would have liked the airtime to be a bit stronger, but because it's hard to get room on the lap bar, the ride absolutely forces it down on you. But there is airtime in all the places you'd expect. There's even a wave turn that just flies over the queue. It really flies through the entire layout, even that final tight helix at the end. So 9 out of 10 coaster for me. Would have loved to have seen more of these in the States, especially because of that launch. Okay, the Vekoma SOC, Snowing Mountain Flying Dragon, I have to say, blew my expectations unlike any coaster I've ever been on. Funnily enough, it was actually an okay coaster, rideable, and only a little rough. I rode it in the front and back, and yeah, only a few jitters here and there. Most of the copy-paste layouts of the other terrible Vekoma SOCs, these things are infamously bad, were built in a short time span from 1994 to 1999. So in 2002, and this is built maybe Vekoma got their act together. It has a Cobble COG or vertical loop, a layout you'd more expect from a B&M invert than an SOC, and to be honest, it rode more like a B&M comparably, but however you view it, it's either by far the best Vekoma SOC or the worst B&M invert. The layout is a little short, and like I said, while it's not rough, it's not smooth either, so only an average 5 out of 10 coaster. And did I go on the Kitty Coaster? Yes. Was it enjoyable? Not really. Did I do it for the credit? Yeah, I'm ashamed. But yes, I mean, there are only 3 coasters, what else could I do? But, 1 out of 10. I don't like Kitty Coasters. Who would? Now, only 3 coasters were open, but it is very soon to be 5, depending on how you count what a coaster is. There's this large Western-themed expansion that's right in the middle of the park, and that's open to walk through, and all the theming was done, but the rides aren't quite yet. One is a Mack Power Splash, so, coaster or not, who knows. It was testing. Mack employees and engineers were there. It seemed like it was about to open very soon, and it might already be open, I'm not sure. And there's also a Super Loop that wasn't open, this indoor drop tower which looked awesome. It had some great facades up, but that wasn't done yet, and a big Thunder Mountain ripoff that was open before, but it looked like it was getting renovated to, match more the theme of the expansion, give it a good look, and it looked great, so I'm bummed and I didn't get to ride it. Odds are, if whenever you get the chance to visit this park, the expansion will be open, and there'll be a lot more to do. The park map says it's about a $70 million investment, so they're not messing around. But there already is plenty to do in the park. There's a whole water park included with admission, which I skipped, but it looked like they have a water coaster, and especially their flat ride collection was pretty impressive, complete with a power tower, and there was an area with 3 large-scale thrill rides, and those are really fun. Shoot the Chute was well done, most soaked I've ever got on any one of those. So it's not just for roller coasters in this park. The kids area has this whole indoor castle I skipped over. There's also shows, but they seemed a bit tacky from the glimpses I had. One thing I had a lot of fun on was Mount Adventure, this jungle gym obstacle course that wasn't really for kids, so that was awesome just to go through. I'm a big fan of stuff like this, and I'm a grown man, so it's not every day you can climb through one of those. There's a ropes course in the new expansion area, equipped with one of those new zip lines that you can turn on. And I think Tom Scott, one of my favorite YouTubers, did a video on what that's like. But I did not see it run, so I guess it wasn't open yet. But I totally would have dropped, lots of money just to do that if it was open. I also did a haunted house animatronic attraction. It was totally empty, so being alone in there, it made me jump a few times.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
It was alright, worth a walk through. And finally, the most important attraction of them all, a funky tree. This is just crammed in the park by itself. I don't understand it, but yes, it's there. Even with everything it did in the park, it was near empty level crowds. I blitzed through the park in only about 4.5 hours. It was really only stopped 2 times. Waiting for that slightly delicious, but more importantly, very affordable Chinese food, and then waiting in line, and for only twice did I wait in line, both for the boiler coaster. Everything else was a total walk-on, it was that empty. But the first time I waited almost an hour, which is absurd given how short the line was, with the amount of humans in line, how many cycles they had. I enjoyed my visit to Happy Valley, but if anything could have ruined it, it was these terrible, absolutely horrendous operations. It's not just that the coasters had one train, it's that every little thing you've seen at other parks that make trains run slower, it all happens here. Operations were awful. I could do a whole video on it, but given how bad it was 6-minute cycles. I would not want to come here on a weekend. I hope this isn't consistent across the Happy Valley train, as I might visit more soon. This is just really one coaster that had this problem. Everything else ran kind of smoothly, so just be prepared to wait in line, even if it's a short line, because those lines move slow. So that's about all I have to say about Happy Valley Shenzhen. A good park, I had fun, but it's not like a destination park with lots of attractions. They need a few more roller coasters to get me to fly in a lot more, honestly. Just good food, affordable, good trains, a lot of stuff there was pretty positive, so recommend it. With about a 1 thumb up out of 2. So, hope to see you again soon. I'll be visiting more parts in Asia, probably Everland next.